So you're thinking of moving to Provo, Utah or the Utah Valley and surrounding areas? Well, I got you covered. I'm Scott Walters, Best USA Realty, and today I'll be talking about the cost of living in Saratoga Springs, Utah. Can you afford to live in this city? I'll be covering all that. What are housing costs, utility costs, groceries, things of that nature. So with that, let's talk about the cost of living in Saratoga Springs, Utah. Again, this is Scott Walters, Best USA Realty. Hey, if you're thinking of moving to the Provo, Utah area, or specifically today we're talking about Saratoga Springs, reach out to me. I'm here to serve you and take care of you and your needs. If there's more information that you need to know about Saratoga Springs or anywhere else in the Utah Valley area or Utah, just reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, let me know. I'd love to hook up or get together with you via text or Zoom or whatever we can do so that I can help you and get you the information that you need when making a decision about moving to the Utah area. Again, Scott Walters, Best USA Realty. If these videos are helpful for you guys, I want you to click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click on the notification bell so you get notified every time that I drop another video about what it's like living in Provo, Utah and the surrounding areas. I'm covering everything from Lehi to the north, to Provo in the middle, to Salem on the south, and all the cities in between. So with that, let's talk about the cost of living in Saratoga Springs, Utah. Hey, and don't forget, if you listen to the end, I usually throw in a kind of little bonus thing that you need to know about, kind of the gotchas, the things you got to watch out for when it comes to cost of living in Saratoga Springs or any of the other cities along the Wasatch Front. And so I'll do the same with this video. I'll give you a little something that you need to watch out for when it comes to when you're thinking of buying and selling in Saratoga Springs area, which is part of your cost of living. Okay, so first up on my list has to be, when it comes to cost of living, has to be housing costs. Can you afford to live in Saratoga Springs, Utah? Fortunately, Saratoga Springs has a lot of options. There's so much construction going on out there. Generally speaking, it's also been a little less expensive to buy in Saratoga Springs compared to living in the Provo-Orem area right up next to the Wasatch Front, just because it's been considered a little bit further out there. I don't think the prices are as big a difference as they used to be 20 years ago, but still you can usually get some pretty good bargains when you're home shopping out there. Now, I was looking at the latest home statistics. There are 171 active listings for sale in Saratoga Springs currently. These are homes that are built, they're ready to go, you can move in and live in them right now. But on the MLS, there's also a total of 317 active listings. What that is that includes all of the builders' advertisements for jobs that they're currently building, all their speculation homes and projects that they're building. So there's a lot more inventory that will be coming on the market as well. So let me get into the price ranges of the homes in Saratoga Springs. When you get into the homes that are anywhere from 5,000 to 8,000 square feet, when I looked at this range, most of these homes are about 5,000 to 6,500 square feet. Then you were looking at price ranges anywhere from 1 to 2 million. Just really depends upon how fancy the house is. The fancier the house, the higher the price tag. Property taxes on homes like that are going to be somewhere in the 5,000 to 8,000 a year range. That's not a month, but a year. Okay, so the next price range I looked at was the 800 to 930,000 price range. When you get in that price range, you're finding a home that's anywhere in the 4,000 to 5,000 square foot range. And again, your taxes are going to be anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 per year. I've mentioned in many other videos, one of the great things about Utah is the fact that our property taxes are relatively low, comparatively speaking, to the surrounding states around us. Like, I'm referring to people like that live in California, where that might be a monthly tax bill for some of those people there. So our taxes are really quite affordable, relatively speaking. The next range, 600,000 to 700,000. That's going to get you a home that's anywhere in the 3,000 to 4,000 square foot range. Again, your property taxes will be in that 3,000 to 4,000 per year range on those. The next price range, now all these homes I have been talking about, these are basically single family homes. These are detached single family homes, Rambler style homes, 2-story style homes, all the way on up to mansions basically. So there are 33 townhomes that are built and standing ready to go. This is your next price range of homes in Saratoga Springs. They're $400,000 to $500,000 is your price tag. And the square footage on these is anywhere from 1,800 square feet on up to 2,400 square feet. The thing that I'm noticing with pretty much all of these new townhomes that are building, that those generally include a 2-car garage. They're usually in communities that have amenities like a clubhouse and a pool. So that's definitely a perk, which means you're going to have an HOA fee of probably $180 a month for your HOA fee. But they're also building these more high-end townhomes, like where you have a lot of the just what you're looking for in nicer homes. They're not putting in like Formica or tile floors. They're putting in like high-end stuff. So anyway, they're putting in high-end countertops, high-end cabinets. So they're really, really, really nice on the inside. So let's talk about the next price range. The next price range, you got 18 properties in this price range. These are condominiums. So there's quite a few condominium buildings in the Saratoga Springs area. The price ranges on that go anywhere from $320,000 up to $379,000. And that square footage range is $1,200 to $1,300 on the square footage. And then taxes are going to be in that $1,200 a year range. So, so there's quite, like I say, the price ranges vary so much because some of these are newer condos and they've got the newer amenities and newer fixtures and features on the inside. The condos that were built 20 years ago, then those are going to be in that lower 320 range. But 2 years ago I sold those condos for $230, so they've appreciated about $100,000 just in 2 years. So that kind of gives you an idea as far as housing costs if you're going to buy a home, what it looks like. Now if you're going to rent a home, if you find a home that's in that 3,000 to 4,000 square feet, it's probably going to be 5-6 bedrooms, 3 baths, then you're going to be paying anywhere from $3,000 to $3,500 a month for your rental costs. I'm seeing some single rooms going for anywhere from $500 to $600 for single room. That's kind of the range on those. If you're looking at renting out one of the townhomes or condos, those are both going anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500 a month for just the townhomes and the condos. So can you afford to live in Utah? Let me know. I think those are some pretty affordable homes. Those prices are going to get you some really, really nice homes. So again, if you're liking the video, like, subscribe, click on the notification bell, reach out to me. I can send you any of these properties to take a look at and get any information that you need. Okay, so my cost of living item 2 are utilities. What are your utility costs going to run you? And they're actually pretty darn similar all up and down the Wasatch Front for pretty much every city in Utah County. I say if you budget anywhere from $200 to $300, that's going to cover your utilities for probably your townhomes, condos, your smaller single family homes. Once you get into those bigger homes that are into that $4,000, $6,000 range, then you better be budgeting $400 to $600 a month for your utility costs. Again, there are other people that are also putting solar panels on the roofs and getting their power bills way down there and dropped quite a bit cheaper than that and helping with those costs. So there's always that option. Generally speaking, most of the cities in Utah County, you will be paying the city itself for most of your services like sewer, water, electricity. That's the same thing with Saratoga Springs. That's who that bill will come through. When it comes for for natural gas for your stoves or for running your furnace, that's through Dominion Energy, and that'll be a separate bill. But the price range that I gave you on utility costs covers both of those. It covers the city bill and your Dominion gas. So again, on the lower end, you're $200, $250 a month. Higher end, you're up there $500, $600. That should cover you on utilities in the Saratoga Springs neighborhoods and area. So number 3 up is transportation. Transportation, again, a very subjective thing because it really depends upon, are you taking a bus? Are you taking Ubers everywhere? Do you have your own car or vehicle? What kind of car do you drive? Bus passes, $85 a month, roughly what it is for a month pass to ride the bus for the UTA bus. If you want to have the ability to also ride the Trax train with the UTA system, that's like $100. I wrote it down here somewhere, $170 a month. And they have other price ranges depending on if you only need it for a week or whatever. So I definitely recommend you hop on the UTA's website to look at all their different pricing tiers for using the public transportation. Saratoga Springs does not have a direct link for the Trax train. You're going to have to. The closest one would be Lehigh probably 15 to 20 minute drive from Saratoga Springs, depending on what part of town that you live in. And you could catch the Trax train, which then can take you on down to Provo or on up to Salt Lake or Ogden. Now the rest of your transportation costs, that's really going to just depend upon the type of vehicle you drive. I drive a Honda Insight. It's a hybrid car. I just filled it up today from empty. It cost me like 34 bucks. And I can drive a long ways on that. But then again, there's my truck where I get anywhere from 10 to 15 miles a gallon. I hardly ever drive it, just when I need it for camping or fishing or whatever, when I'm taking the boat somewhere. So, your costs are going to be similar. If you're driving a Suburban or a big truck like that, then you're going to be paying, $100 to fill those tanks up, and it's going to cost you more for your transportation costs. But if you get a nice hybrid or electric car, those costs are going to go down quite a bit. Number 4 is childcare. What's it going to cost me to have my kid taken care of while I'm off at work earning a living for the family? I was checking out several of the different daycares online. I'm seeing that on average, most of them are charging about $170 per week per child. If your child's under 2, kids that are a little older than that, about $150 per week. So that's kind of a typical price range. So just estimate somewhere in that $150 per week per child for childcare. And you can definitely look around and find other places that maybe have a little cheaper options. Certainly if you don't need your child in daycare, 5 days a week, then that cost can be a little different. And you can certainly negotiate with the different providers for different rates there. Now when it comes to preschools, where you're just dropping them off for a couple hours a day to get them kind of prepared and ready to go for when they enter school, then you're going to be looking at about $90 to $100 for a month. That's what my wife and I paid for our 6 children. We paid $90 a month. That got them 3 days a week at a very, very good preschool locally to us, and it got them very prepared and ready to go for when they're time to start kindergarten. So there you go. There's a little idea of what it's going to cost you for child care and daycare preschool in the Saratoga Springs area. Next up, groceries. Number 5 on my list. How much is going to cost you to feed yourself and your family living in the Saratoga Springs area? So Saratoga Springs has several grocery stores. They've got the Smith's grocery store. They have a Super Walmart, and then of course they have a Costco that's there. Those are probably your 3 main places that you can shop. If you want to go over to Eagle Mountain, they have a Macy's over in City Center. There's also Macy's in Lehigh. And then American Forks, not too far away, maybe 20 minutes away, and they have a whole bunch of other grocery stores as well. So there's some other options for you for shopping. I always generally estimate anywhere between $100 and $150 per person per month. That's what I'm budgeting currently for my family. That seems to take care of us well. And your costs for groceries can definitely be a lot more, just depending upon what your tastes are. If you're eating more expensive food, then obviously that bill is going to go up a little more. But if you're being a little more budget conscious, making more budget friendly items like casseroles or spaghetti, or even growing your own garden, harvesting some of your own food there, then definitely you can keep your grocery bill down. But I'm finding that anywhere from $100 to $150 per month per person, pretty good budget for groceries in Saratoga Springs. Number 6 has got to be your phone and internet bills. That's certainly a cost of living that most people need to take care of. Most people have cell phones. I find that a lot of people are using the big 3, that is T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. I've been with all 3 of the services. They've all worked well for me. Recently, about 2 years ago, I did finally switch over to T-Mobile. I had been with AT&T for like 20 years. I was having issues with having good service in my home with AT&T, and that was not the case with T-Mobile. I had excellent service. So I've been, with my job, I'm all over Utah County, and I've found that I've had very good service with T-Mobile everywhere. And generally speaking, with the other 2 services, very, very good service everywhere else as well. I just was able to get a little bit cheaper of a bill with T-Mobile. I looked online. T-Mobile's saying they're $65 for the first line, and then $100 for 2 lines, and then add, give or take, $20 a month extra for a 3rd or 4th line after that. For AT&T started at $75 and went up to $140 for 2 lines. Verizon was $80, going up to $140. And again, of course, you shop around. They're always having specials and waiving fees or dropping their prices. So don't take these prices as absolutes what they're going to be. They could be a little cheaper just depending upon the promotions that are going on at the time. And then again, of course, there's also the resellers. Those companies, like your Mint and your Cricket Wireless, companies like that that go buy big chunks of time from the big three and then resell it as a discount. You always have those options out there. Sometimes their speeds are a little bit slower, so that's why I've opted with one of the big three. And I've been okay. My service has been good. I've got quite a few lines and everything has worked well. So anyways, that kind of gives you an idea what it may cost you for a cell phone bill. When it comes to internet, I mean, there's just so many different services out there. Some people don't even order up internet. They just use the internet on their phone through their cell phone plan. So I currently use Xfinity Mobile. They're a pretty big provider. I'm paying like $80 a month, but that's kind of bundled in. Gets me my cable TV and some other things too. So that's about what I'm paying roughly for my internet service. Anyway, that gives you some idea on what the internet and phone may cost you in Saratoga Springs. All right, so our final cost of item living is entertainment. What's it going to cost you to have fun in Saratoga Springs? Well, one of the great things about Saratoga Springs and basically all of Utah County is the fact that it's a very outdoor-oriented lifestyle. I mean, you can do a lot of outdoor activities that don't cost you much money and just have a lot of fun. But you can also spend as much money as you want. You want to go up to Salt Lake and go to the Jazz game and drop a couple $100 on tickets and a hot dog and a beverage or whatever else, you can do that too and have a lot of fun doing that. Or you can go on up to the ski resorts and spend $150 a day to go skiing. You've got that opportunity as well as free entertainment. But if you want some of the free stuff or cheap stuff, there's a lot of that available locally to Saratoga Springs. A lot of hiking trails, a lot of mountain biking trails. I see tons of people cycling all over Saratoga Springs. That's all cheap and free. There's a lot of trails you could take your four-wheelers or your side-by-sides on. That's just the cost of your fuel and getting there. Well, you got Utah Lake right there. So you can hop on your boat and you're out on Utah Lake. You're water skiing, you're fishing, you're doing whatever you want to do on the lake. That's right there, so fairly inexpensive. And then again, there's a lot of canyons that are close by to Saratoga Springs. You're probably 30 minutes to American Fork Canyon, which is where you have Timpanogos Cave. There's some reservoirs up there, and that American Fork Canyon takes you up onto the Alpine Loop Road, which is just a stunning and scenic drive, especially in the fall with the fall colors. You can take that down into Provo Canyon, going past Sundance if you want to go to the Sundance Ski Resort. They have summer activities there where you can hop on the ski lifts and take your mountain bike and ride up the ski lifts and bike on trails there. Or they just have, you can just take a scenic ski lift ride if you want. They also have plays up there. And so there's just a lot of activities that way with the different canyons. In Salt Lake, you're not that far away from Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons, which are also very scenic drives, and you got a lot of ski resorts up there. You're not too far of a drive to drive up to the Great Salt Lake or Antelope Island. I mean, there's just all kinds of things that you can do that are just not that far of a drive from Saratoga Springs. So just tons of entertainment options all around. Of course, you got a great golf course right there in Talon's Cove at Saratoga Springs, which is fairly inexpensive. I haven't golfed there for a few years. Last time I golfed there, I think it was like $24. That gave me 9 holes and got me a cart. Could be a little more now, but beautiful course. So lots and lots of options. Reach out to me if you have questions on some of the activities and entertainment options in Utah Valley. I love to share with you what I know about this area and all the fun things that we like to do. So I told you I'd talk about one of the little gotchas, or the things you need to watch out for when it comes to the cost of living in Saratoga Springs. One of the things that's kind of a new, because Saratoga Springs is basically a new community, it was incorporated in 1996. Most of the developments in there are now what we call homeowners association neighborhoods. So they have all these rules and stipulations to living there, and a lot of them have homeowners board. You're paying your monthly dues and fees, and they take care of the open space or whatever amenities those have. But a lot of them now have transfer fees, so that when you buy or sell a property in there, besides paying whatever, the realtor professional fees, your taxes or title insurance or whatever you're paying there, you also need to be aware that you're probably also going to be paying a property transfer fee when it comes to transferring that property over to a new owner, and those vary by each association. I've seen them as cheap as like $100 and others that are a lot more than that. So you just need to be aware that's something you need to watch out for when it comes to the cost of living in Saratoga Springs. So thank you so much for watching this video about the cost of living in Saratoga Springs. I really appreciate you finding my channel. If you're finding these videos helpful about the cost of living or the pros and cons of what it's like living in Provo, Utah and all the different cities around Provo, Utah, then I want you to like and subscribe to my channel. Then I want you to click on that notification bell so that you get notified every time that I drop another video about what it's like living in Provo, Utah and all the surrounding areas. Again, my name is Scott Walters, Best USA Realty. I'll make sure to put a contact information on the screen and in the description so that you can reach out to me. I'm here to serve you and take care of you, help you find out anything you want to know about what it's like living in Provo. Again, today I've been talking about what it's like, the cost of living in Saratoga Springs. You send me a call, shoot me a text, whatever you need to do. I can get you more information, whatever you want to know about Saratoga Springs. Beautiful city on the northwest end of Utah Lake and the northern end of Utah Valley. Again, Scott Walters, Best USA Realty, and I'll catch you on the next video.